Hello, German students. This is Ken Kuchta at Chantilly High School, and I'm going to present some information to you on accusative German adjective endings. So just as a little review, in order to use adjective endings, you've got to know the gender of a noun, the case that it's taking, and that could be nominative, accusative, dative, or genitive, and in this presentation it's all accusative, and the number, meaning is it a plural or singular noun. Adjective endings, you only need them if the adjective is before the noun. And today we're dealing with the accusative case, so that's things like nouns that are direct objects, in other words, things that are being acted on. Objects of accusative prepositions, I'll give you a list of those in just a minute. Objects of two-way prepositions with change of location, and certain time and distance expressions. That's the last part, the time and distance expressions we won't cover in this presentation. So here are the accusative articles and their adjective endings in the accusative case. So it helps to first know the articles. Den, die, das, die, den, die, das, die, einen, eine, ein, keine, einen, eine, ein, keine. And you can kind of chant them like that to remember them. And then what I always do to memorize adjective endings is I make a little chart, a quick little chart like this. But you got to remember that you're going to need to know like 4 of these. So this is just the accusative chart. So when you write it down on a piece of paper, make sure you label it accusative. Okay? So here's what they look like composed. Okay? So you have an article in the first 2 rows right here, and you have an adjective and a noun. But in the last row, which is unpreceded, it means that there's no article in front of it. In other words, there's no word for the or a. Okay? All right. So let's take a look at what some of these look like composed. Okay? So we have some examples of direct objects here. Peter isst den großen Apfel. Helene kauft eine heiße Pizza. Meine Mutter backt das frische Brot. Ich esse keine fetten Nudeln. Peter eats the big apple. Helena buys a hot pizza. My mother bakes the fresh bread. And I eat no big fat noodles. So down below, first you've got to decide some endings on some indefinite articles or the word kind. Or they could be definite articles. So you have to find the whole one. And then you need to figure out what the the adjective endings are. So take a look and see what those would be. Take a minute, pause this video, and fill in the blanks. And on the next page will be the key. All right, so here are the solutions. Take a look, compare them to your answers, and go back to this page if you got some wrong. Next up, we have accusative objects of accusative prepositions. So those prepositions are durch, für, gegen, ohne, bis, entlang. And you can sing it like Mary Had a Little Lamb. Durch, für, gegen, ohne, bis, entlang. Which, I know, the entlang is kind of jammed in there, but it works. Okay. Dieses Geschenk ist für den braven Jungen und die netten Mädchen. Martin kommt heute zum Tennistraining ohne einen Tennisschläger. Die schnellen Kinder laufen die große Frau herum. This present is for the well-behaved boys and the nice girls. Martin comes without a tennis racket today to tennis practice. The fast children run around the large woman. So take a look at the ones at the bottom here. And again, you're going to need to figure out the endings on some possessive pronouns, which act the same as indefinite articles. You need the endings on adjectives, and for some of these, you need an entire article, the der, das. Okay, and on this page, I gave you the gender, so this should go a lot faster. Take a minute, pause the video, and then check your answers in a minute. All right, so you should be done writing the answers. Here's the key. Check your answers over. See if you got some right, some wrong. And finally, we have objects of two-way prepositions with movement. Now, some of you might say, well, sometimes these don't really involve explicit movement, and that's true. Another way to explain this is change of location. So here are the prepositions an, auf, hinter, in, neben, über, unter, vor, and zwischen. And you can sing them this way. She'll be coming around the mountain is the melody. An, auf, hinter, in, neben, über, unter, vor und zwischen. Alright, so. Meine Familie geht in den dunklen Garten. Boris fährt an die schöne Nordsee. Kannst du zwischen die alten Häuser fahren? Petra legt ihr Gepäck aufs große Sofa. Alright, so my family goes into the dark garden. Boris drives to the beautiful North Sea. Can you drive between the old houses? Petra lays her luggage on the big sofa. All right, so you give the ones at the bottom a shot, pause the video, and then check your work in a few minutes. All right, so check your work. Make sure you've got all the correct articles and endings. And that's all I have for you today. I hope you've learned something, and I hope that you can use accusative adjective endings now. Have a great day.